खड़ा पानी भी तो नहीं, या बिल खड़ा तो मिलेगा 8,000 उससे जाना पड़ेगा। तो बिल्कुल फ्लैट बने हुआ है ना, किसी मीटर नहीं आया अभी, तो 6 फुट के हिसाब से देते हैं। 20 फुट जल्दी भी चलते सब कुछ करने वाली देती सर। हो सकता है इसका मतलब हाँ
Good morning, Sandeep sir. Myself, Dr. Nurag. I am one of the coordinator of this activity. I welcome you on behalf of
Hello.
Jashipur Institute of Science and Technology. Hello.
Thank you, Dr. Nurag. Thanks a lot.
We will start in few minutes officially.
Sure.
I thank you for accepting our invitation in the short time. Thanks once again.
Thank you very much for having me here. It would be a very engaging session, I believe. I believe I can share my screen sometime post you start the session, I believe. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Sure. Thank you. Thanks, Dr. Nurag.
Thanks.
Dwarkesh, please start.
Okay, ma'am. Failure will never overtake me if my determination to succeed is strong enough. These are words by Missile Man of India, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, the brain behind the Pokhran nuclear test of 1998. Remembering him on his birthday, today we celebrate the National Innovation Day for his immense contribution towards the society, be it development of integrated missile development program, satellite launch vehicles, and many more. A very good morning to one and all present here. I, Dwarkesh, take immense pleasure and privilege in welcoming you all to the celebration of National Innovation Day organized by Institutions Innovation Council. Ministry of Education, Government of India has established an Innovation Council to systematically foster the culture of innovation among students of all higher education institutes. To become an entrepreneur, one must be determined and ambitious. The nature of success requires ambition, hard work, ethics, inspiration, and motivation. Having successful mentors to look up to can help you learn from their experiences. Their success and failure stories help to trigger innovative ideas and keep you going in the right direction. With the same motive in the mind, we have gathered here to invest our valuable time in the learning process. Today, we are extremely honored to have among us Dr. Sandeep Mehndiratta, the guest speaker, Professor Sanjeev Goel, President IIC, Dr. Sapna Taneja, Convener IIC, faculty members, and distinguished audience. I would like to once again welcome you all. Now, I would like to request Professor Sanjeev Goel, President IIC, sir, to take over the mic and enlighten us with your knowledge and vast experience.
Thank you very much. I hope I'm audible.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Greetings all on National Innovation Day, which commemorates the birth anniversary of the late Bharat Ratna, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, former President of India. On this occasion, I am pleased to welcome Sandeep Mehndiratta ji, an entrepreneur, coach, and the author, and thank him for accepting our invitation. Grateful to Professor S.K. Tomar, the Honorable Vice Chancellor, for his support and guidance in the conduct of such activities. I also welcome all deans, chairpersons, faculty members, and students, and thank them for being part of this celebration. Commemorates the life of the greatest scientist of India. We should take a moment to reflect. Dr. Kalam, in a very straightforward manner, explained innovation by saying, innovation is born out of cultural excellence excellence occurs when an individual or nation attempts to achieve its dream through calculated risks. The word calculated risk plays a very important and pivotal role in a decision to choose between pursuing a job or starting a startup. Calculated risk involves evaluating the validity of the idea, positioning it in the market, preparing a budget forecast, and above all, assembling a team of like-minded, enthusiastic individuals. Further, I would like to point out that innovation occurs when one applies creativity and knowledge to the challenge of solving societal problems. Of course, a feasibility study plays an instrumental role in this process. I would like to congratulate the organizers, Dr. Rag and Dr. Gunjan, for their quick response in organizing this very important event on such short notice. I would also like to thank Dr. Sapna Taneja, convener of the program, for arranging the keynote speaker and assisting and guiding the organizers with various activities. I would like to thank IISc members and students for helping in various activities. Finally, I would like to express my gratitude to Dr. Sunil Kumar Garg, the worthy registrar, for his unconditional support and guidance. Thank you very much.
We
Over
are
to you.
pleased We are pleased to have with us Shri Sandeep Mehndiratta as our expert speaker today, an engineer, coach, and an author. Sir is co-founder of GoPlo Farms, a startup delivering organically grown fruits and vegetables to consumers, boosting farmers' income to ensuring highest quality of product reach to consumers with appropriate nutrition. Sir has also authored book Art to Startup Shastra, which has received overwhelming response from public. Now I would like to request you, sir, to kindly take over the virtual dais and address the audience.
Thank you very much, Dr. Anurag and Dr. Gunjan, Dr. Sapna, Vice Chancellor, sir, for giving this opportunity. I hope this session would be beneficial for every one of us over here. And I would request everyone to ask questions during this session. So that's how we'll engage and learn together and grow together. So I would just start with sharing my presentation. Dwarkesh, can you please help me share the presentation, share the screen? It is showing it is disabled.
Mr. President, I see you need to make Mr. Sandeep Mehndiratta host. Can you do that, sir?
And one more request, if you can please record the session. The host, President IISc.
So meanwhile, it is getting hosted. You're allowing me to share the presentation. So meanwhile, we can start with a quote from late Dr. Abdul Kalam, who was our president. I love his quote. You need to dream first before your dreams can actually become true. So that is a thing which actually sparks and ignite in me whenever I start something. So Dwarkesh, it is still showing disabled.
Just give us a minute. Just give us a minute.
Sure. Yeah, is my screen visible?
Yes, sir. Now it is visible.
Great. Thank you, Dwarkesh. Thank you, everyone. So let's begin. So the topic of today's session is entrepreneurship and innovation. How innovation can be a turning stone, can be a milestone when you start your journey for entrepreneurship. And today's session, I basically have divided this into three sections. The first is, what are those three techniques if you want to develop an innovation mindset? Then we'll go on to what are the building blocks of entrepreneurship. And these building blocks are something which you may not find in any textbook. This was something when I'd written a book. So it's purely based on my experience of last 22 years. Then we'll move on to explore your Ikigai. So these are just not the topics. Here you can actually develop your own Ikigai. So what exactly is Ikigai? We'll come to that later. But I would like to highlight, during this session, you can develop your own Ikigai in the last 15 minutes of the session, right? So I would urge everyone to be very participative if you want to take something out from this session. Yeah. So just a quick introduction. I'm an engineer by profession. I've led various corporate roles from strategy to operations over the last 22 years. And I've authored a book, Art to Start, to help aspiring entrepreneurs, and which is on the right hand side of your screen. It's got an Amazon rating of 4.9. I'm a co-founder at GoPlow Farms, which I think Dwarkesh mentioned. I'm also founder of two more startups, Art to Start and Deep Learnings. Art to Start is basically where I teach students, where I teach corporate professionals to start their own startup. It is a 7-module series. Then my next startup is Deep Learnings, where I help corporate professionals strategize things, develop solution mindsets. So these are the three startups I'm currently involved with. I'm also advisor to various entrepreneurs and multinationals, and I partner with various engineering and MBA universities, government colleges to coach students to launch their startups. I think there is someone has put some red line on the screen. If Dwarkesh, can you please help me remove that?
Sir, I guess it is from your end because I cannot do regarding that, sir.
Okay. Actually, I have not used a marker. Okay, so let me check if I can remove it. Just a moment.
Sir, you may try presenting it once again.
No,
It
perfectly
may...
fine. I think it's clear now.
Yes, sir.
Perfect. Thank you. So these are some of the companies I do training with. I help professionals. Then these are some of the students whom I coach, teach on entrepreneurship skills. Some government colleges, I go and teach small students. So that was a bit about me. Now let's get straight to the topic. Innovation. India has emerged as the third largest ecosystem in the world with 107 unicorns and total valuation of over $340 billion. And this was September 22, right? So this is a fact which I'm presenting to you. Third largest startup ecosystem means a lot. We have also jumped 41 places in GII. What is GII? It is Global Innovation Index. From a rank of 81 in 2015 to achieving a rank of 40 in 2022. And there are over 130 countries which take part. So what does this signify? The movement in the rank from 81 to 40 clearly depicts that innovation is taking center stage in our country, and it's also impacting our economy likewise. For innovation to happen, the first and the most critical aspect is the solution mindset. We need to have a mindset which works on the solution, which tries to see solution in every problem. So how do we do that? Because it starts with the solution mindset. Only then you can innovate certain things based on the problem you want to solve. Okay. So I'm going to give you three techniques, a very simple 3 techniques which you can practice to develop a solution mindset. Now, I would like to start with the first technique, which is, what do you want to do in your life? Pretty simple. So if you ask anyone, hey, what do you want to become in your life? An engineer, he'll say, I want to become a software engineer, or someone will say, okay, I want to be an automotive engineer. So anyone from the team want to say something on this? What do you want to become in your life? This would be I want this to be a very engaging session only, then you will learn a lot from this. Answering this question is the first step to a solution mindset. What do you want to become in your life after engineering, or your MBA students after your MBA? Anyone want to try this out? Is my voice clear? Am I audible? Hello, is my voice clear? Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, sir,
Thank
your
you very
voice
much.
is clear.
Yeah, and the language is clear, English or English Hindi mix you want?
No, sir. English is fine.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
So I want an answer only, then I'll move. What do you think you want to become in life? Okay.
Sir,
Yeah.
actually, when we were little, the answer was of one word or two words, no, that we could become astronaut or something. But as we are growing up, the answer is becoming more subjective in nature, that we want to become capable in some field related to our interest. Means I am from MBA, but I would like to go in design thinking, which is not so a big field.
So no,
so to
let's take your example. I think you're Vivek.
Yes, sir.
Thanks, Vivek, for the answer. You want to be something in the field of design thinking. Okay. Now, with design thinking, what do you want to impact? Do you want to work in specific area, or you just want to be a design thinker in any of the domains?
Sir, mostly in technical innovation, like
I'll tell
something.
you. Okay.
Okay, sir. You go
Yeah,
ahead, please.
please continue. Please continue.
Sir, like something what kind of a myth about Steve Jobs, that he chose his own materials for the first iPod, etc. in 2002, 2003. So that's that thing that where you can build something from the downs up, about
Bottoms
hands-on
up.
approach. Yes, sir.
Vivek, for your information, I have covered one small, very small, a demo, a case study of Steve Jobs that will come later. But just to give you some perspective, never ever think of what I want to do in my life. What do I want to become in my life? I want to become a design thinker. I want to become X. I want to be a software professional. I want to be an automotive. No, that's not the way. It used to be a decade back or a couple of decades back. Right now, you need to only think of what is the problem I want to solve. For example, an automotive engineer, he can say, okay, I want to solve the problem of pollution. If he says so, he has a plenty of options. Like if he has to solve a problem of pollution, he can work on IC engines, internal combustion engines. He can work on battery optimization. He can work on alternate fuels. So once an objective is clear, where he wants to be, that destination is clear, there are various paths leading to it. Then you can choose one path, but don't fix your mind in one path. I'll follow this path. I'll do design thinking. Okay, design thinking is just one aspect, but with design thinking, what is that you want to solve? You need to have clarity in that aspect. Although this is a very, very schoolish basic question, but it always helps irrespective of the level you are in. Okay. So always think about the solution. Always think about the problem that you want to solve. So solution mindset in the life starts with this aspect. Always think about the problem you want to solve, and you will find various paths leading towards it. Second is quick win technique. What is that? This is again a more simpler technique. Words are very powerful. Okay. And when we say, we should mind our words whenever we say something, because whatever we say goes inside us. There are two words. I'm giving you an example, and but. So what do you think? How do you these words? What do you think? How these words can impact solution mindset? Can these words impact the way you think? Anyone want to try? These are the two words. What I'm telling you is how you can create a solution mindset for innovative thinking. And believe me, the choice of words can take you to a different plane altogether. I give you an example. For example, let me tell you, I'll give you two examples. Just hear me out carefully. I love riding bicycle, but I'm afraid of falling down. Okay. I love to play badminton, but my backhand stroke is very weak. And now I'll replace the word but with and let's see how it works out. I love to ride bicycle and I need to put the support wheels on so that I don't fall down. I love riding bicycle and I need to take the help of my father to hold me so that I don't fall down, and I practice. The second example for badminton. I love playing badminton and I need to take the help of a coach to help me practice backhand stroke. I love playing badminton and I need to practice overnight on my backhand stroke. So what I want to say is, whenever you use the word but, what follows after but is a problem, is a box that whenever we say think out of the box means you have to think out of this but line. Whatever sentence follows but is a negative, is a box, and you get stuck into it. And whenever you use and replace but with and, you will get a lot of opportunities. Is my thought clear to everyone? Is this point clear to everyone? Yeah?
Yes, sir.
Write down in the chat window. Okay. Now let's move on to the third point. So this entire session may be full of some of the stories. I'll tell you a story now. This is the last third session of the first point in the index, the pebbles of wisdom. I'm going to tell you a quick story, and after the story, I'm going to give you a question, and you need to hear the story very carefully and answer that question that follows. There was a small village at the foothill of Himalayas, and there used to live a farmer with his beautiful girl, with his beautiful daughter. And there was a crooked moneylender in the village, and the farmer had taken some loan from the moneylender, and every year the loan kept on increasing because he was charging exorbitant interest rates. One fine day, that moneylender called up the farmer and said, "Hey, I want to just waive off entire loan of yours, but you need to play a game with me." Then the farmer asked, "Okay, I'm okay with that, but what is the game? Tell me." The moneylender said, "We all will assemble at the foothills of the Himalayas, that the place, and on that place there are a lot of white and black pebbles which comes down from the hill, and there would be a jar, a steel jar, and we'll put two pebbles, one black and one white, and we'll give this jar to your daughter, and the jar would be covered. So without looking inside the jar, your daughter has to pick one stone. If she picks black stone, your entire loan will be waived off and she will have to marry me. But if she picks a white stone, again, the entire loan would be waived off and she will not have to marry me." So that was the game. And the farmer was very much confused because he has a chance of losing his daughter to the crooked moneylender. He was very confused. So he said, "Okay, I'll tell you later." So he went home and explained this to his daughter, and daughter understood like it's a plan to catch her off. But she said, "Okay, there's no way out of life where we are stuck in." So she said yes to her father, and the farmer again said yes to the moneylender. And then on the decided date, everyone gathered at the foothills, and the entire village was there. Then a person was chosen who was supposed to put two stones in the jar. Since it was like a game for the moneylender, so that person who was chosen was hand in gloves with moneylender. So very quickly and smartly, what he did, he just picked two black stones and put inside the jar and covered it. No one can see from outside. But it was a matter of life and death for the girl, and she smartly, and she saw it, like it's a cheating that these guys are doing. Now that jar was passed on to the girl. Now, what will she do? If now till here, the story is still here, the ending I'll disclose later. Now the question is, if you were in place of that farmer's daughter, what you would have chosen? Either you can choose a marble inside from the jar, and that would obviously be black, and then you have to marry that money lender and the entire loan would be waived off. Sorry. She can also shout out and call everyone, hey, this is not wrong, this is cheating. And then what would happen? Like everyone will say, okay, these are two black stones, and that person will say, okay, by mistake I did this. So he will again put white and black and give it back to the daughter, and again she will have a 50-50 chance of winning the game. Or can she do something else? There's a third option, other. So I want you all to write down in the chat window, if you would have been in that farmer's daughter place, you would have chosen option A, B, or C. So my question is, if you would have been in place of the farmer's daughter, what would you have chosen? Option A, B, or C? So do you have a chat window open with you? You can write down over there. Yes, yes. So I have option A, C, C, A. Okay. So anyone want to try this out? Anyone want to try the answer out? So I've got a lot of responses. Anyone want to try this out? So after this, I'll show you the three stories that I have told you. I'll give you how these things can help you think in a solution mindset manner. So C again, C is coming. So anyone want to try what exactly happened after this? If anyone knows the story, you can raise your hand. Naveen is saying, I will ask the money lender to choose the marble. If white, she will marry. If black, then not. Cool. But that's not the rule of the game. Rule of the game is that daughter has to pick. Okay. So I'll give you the solution quickly right away. So what happened next? Give me goosebumps till date. This was a story told to me by my father. And what happened next was the steel jar. Hear me out carefully. The steel jar was given to the girl, and she put her hand inside the jar and put out and take a pebble in her fist. किसी को दिखे ना fist में एक pebble in her fist she took out, and everyone, not everyone, she knew it was black. Then just when the hand came out of the jar, she hurriedly threw it away on the ground. उसे गिरा दिया जमीन पर. So that money lender shouted, hey girl, what have you done? Now how can we make out whether you have picked up the white or the black one? You have spoiled the entire game. Then the girl said, sir, if there is black marble inside the jar, I have pulled out white. But if there is white marble inside the jar, I have pulled out black. You can check what is the marble left out in the jar. So the other color I would have picked. Did you get the answer? Did you get it? Or no? Super. So this was something like what I want to convey with this. Great, you got it. Thanks, Nishan. So there are options available with us every time. Okay. And whenever we pick an option, there is an outcome associated with that option. We always need to think where we want to reach. Where is the destination? Are these options taking me to to that destination? If no, design a new option. That is a solution mindset. Okay. Did you get that? So what were the 3 points? The first is always think what is the solution you want to work on, not what I want to become. Okay. Second is instantly. This is the thing you can start right away from now onwards. Start using the word more and instead of but. Always remember, but is like a box. B for but, B for box. A is and A is a plenty of opportunities, a plentiful of opportunities. Okay. So whenever you use the word and, you will always, your mind will always generate solutions. And the third, with the given option, if you are not reaching to your desired destination, don't go for that option, design a new option. Okay. So that's about the solution mindset. I hope you liked it. So coming to the entrepreneurship building blocks. There are 7 blocks of entrepreneurship, and this is purely based on my experience last 22 years, and I've mentioned in the book as well. Everything starts with an idea, and idea is very important. But what is more important than idea is the conviction behind an idea. So how do you develop a $1 billion idea? If you have an idea, how do you develop a conviction? So there are a lot of tools behind it. I'm going to also share with you those tools, those summary. Actually, what I'll do is I'll share the summary of my 8 weeks workshop with you so that it becomes meaningful for everyone over here. When you see that summary, you will have a lot of things in your mind, how to utilize innovation for entrepreneurship. Okay. Then once you have an idea and conviction, you need to think what is the value you are adding to the customer. So value proposition is the next building block. Then differentiation, how your idea is different from your competitors. Then the business model, how you're going to make revenue, how you're going to form the team. Do you need your own team? Do you need a co-founder, or do you need to outsource certain things? So these are things which comes in the team section. And last one is the funding, how you're going to raise the fund, what investors ask. How do you prepare an investor deck? So these are the building blocks of entrepreneurship. Okay. So these building blocks I have written down in a horizontal manner, and below that you can see a lot of tools. So over here I'll cover in a powerful idea. The first is the idea, which is a powerful idea. I'll try to cover one of the tools, which is Ikigai. So every entrepreneur journey starts with an idea. And it is all about exploring and expressing yourself, and your idea is the medium of your expression. Now, whenever you have an idea, you always try to make it big, make it a powerful idea. Lekin kaise? How do you make your idea a real big and a real powerful? Is by using certain tools like Ikigai. The first is Ikigai. You need to come out of your SOS and select your idea. What is SOS? SOS is shiny object syndrome. More than 90% of the people are under this syndrome. This syndrome is like a situation where I see like, I can do this, I'm good at this. Oh, by the way, I can do that as well. Oh, but this is something which is making more money. Oh, this is something which is market is going on. So you are having inputs from lot many sides, how to make money, or this is the thing I want to solve. My friend is doing this, industry is going that. So that is SOS, shiny object syndrome, where you see everything as shiny. You need to come out of that and pick your own idea, your own niche, your own area where you want to excel. And Ikigai helps you do exactly that. Okay. So I want to know from every one of you in the chat window, if you want to explore your Ikigai, do you want to know the technique, how you want to solve your Ikigai for yourself? Write down YES, yes, in the chat window. If you want to explore your Ikigai in this session only. Yeah, and I mean it. I'll give you a technique to explore your Ikigai in this session only. Great. Thanks. I mean, Nishan, thanks. So, anyone more? Because I would be asking you questions, and don't be afraid of answering, because more you get involved, more you learn out of this session. I don't want to make it theoretical. Okay. So second in this powerful idea is, after you have your ikigai, then the second is compass. Compass is like how you nurture and refine your idea. Checklist, how there's a checklist how you can convert an idea to a powerful idea, and everything you need to do. So that's a checklist. And OFB is out of the box thinking. Okay. So what we'll do is we'll start with ikigai. Now, there are two most important days in your life. I just love this quote by Mark Twain. There are two most important days in your life, and these are the day you are born and the day you find out why. Okay. By the way, 15th October was the day I was born. That's today. So it's an important day for me, and it's an innovation day. So that's also a very pleasant moment for me. So the two most important days, the days when you were born and the day you find out why. Why means why you were born. What are the things you want to do in your life? Okay. So what exactly is ikigai? Ikigai is a Japanese word which means reason for being. You need to discover a niche. Niche means a area, a specific, a targeted area, a laser focused area where your passion and talent, जो आपका passion है and talent, converge. That means mixes up, points to the things that the world needs and is willing to pay for. Don't go by just definition. What I'll do is I'll explain you how to do this. Basically, it says how your passion and talent converge with the things that the world needs and willing to pay for. Passion and talent is your internal, what the world needs and they're willing to pay for is external to you. So I'll tell you how you match internal and external. And initially, someone asked about Steve Jobs. We'll see how Steve Jobs did it and how you can do it. What are the learnings from him? Okay. Super, great. Thank you. Thanks, Vivek, Preeti. Thanks. Thanks, wishes Rakshit. Thank you. So coming back to Ikigai, why do I need an Ikigai? Because I feel most of us work for someone else's vision. We just work like day in and day out, making certain things, trying to work out certain things. But what exactly I need to focus on? What is my life all about? Ikigai answers that. Let's not be robots. Let's live our life with a lakshya. What is the bigger reason of our life? So that's what Ikigai tells us. So coming to Ikigai, now see this and hear me out very carefully. There are 4 circles. First is, what are the things you love? And what you are good at. So these are 2 different things. Okay. To give you an example, I love analytics. I love doing business analytics. Okay. That's a thing I can do anytime. I love doing that. And what you are good at, I'm good at, for example, I'm good at sharing. I'm good in sharing, for example. Okay. I'm good at sharing certain things. Now, these are 2 different things, what you love doing and what you are good at. Okay. These 2 can be different things. Now you need to clearly mark these areas in your life. By the way, by the time I'm telling you these, you can just write down quick 3-4 things you love at, and it can be anything. I love playing cricket. I'm good at business analytics, or I love playing badminton. I love plants. I love climate. I love mountains. Anything what you feel from inside. Okay. What you are good at is something based on your skill. What your skill is. I am good at which I am doing day in and day out. For example, by virtue of my doing a particular thing for 5 years, I have become good at it. I may not like it, but I have become good at it. For example, a person may be good in creating charts in MS Excel. Okay, a person may be good in developing macros in Excel. A person may be good in developing codes, but he just got good at it by virtue of doing at it. He may not love it. He may love something else. So these are 2 separate aspects. Clearly write down, and I want you to actually do this exercise. Clearly write it down what you love and what you are good at. And these two things are internal to you, and no one can take away these two things from you. Now, the next point is try to convert these two things together, and the overlap area would be your passion. Okay, so that's what passion is all about. It's the overlap area of what you love and what you're good at. Now, the third circle is what you can be paid for by the world and what the world needs. And between that area is the vocation. This is external. Okay. So now if I see these four circles together, so we have passion, mission, profession, and vocation. And you can take, by the way, screenshot of this. Now, hear this out very carefully. Now we have seen the intersection of two. Now we'll see the intersection of three circles. The dot at the center, you see over here, is the intersection of three circles: what you love, what you're good at, and what the world needs. Means you have, for example, you're standing in these three areas and you have identified certain project or certain thing in which you are good at. You also love doing it. World is also needing it, but you are not getting paid for it. Then what will happen? You will feel delighted. You will feel fullness in your life, but no wealth because you're not getting paid for it. If you feel, now second is the intersection of three circles: what you love, what you're good at, and what you can be paid for. But the world doesn't need this in the second example. Okay, then what your feeling would be, you'll be satisfied because you're doing what you love, but you will feel like useless. Okay, I'm doing something, but the world doesn't need it. Now, the third is the intersection of three circles. You are doing what you are good at. You're also getting paid for it, and the world is also needing it, but you don't love doing it. So you will feel comfortable, but you will feel there's a lot of emptiness in life. And the fourth and the last is when the activity that you are doing, the world is needing it, you're also getting paid for it, and you're also good at it. And you're not good at it and you love doing it. You'll feel a lot of excitement, but sense of uncertainty because you're not good at it, and you will feel like someday someone else will replace me. Why I'm telling you these 4 points is just close your eyes and think of what do you feel actually. If you are selected a project or you're working on some activity and you feel either of these 4 things, that means you are missing out on one circle. If you're feeling delightful but no wealth, you're missing the last, that you can be paid for. And if you're feeling comfortable but emptiness feeling is there, okay, then you're doing something which you're not loving. So with these feelings, you can point out what exactly is missing in your life. And the ideal thing is when all these 4 converge together at the center, gives you the Ikigai moment. Okay. Now I'll give you certain examples of it. Ikigai is, as I told you, boils down to 4 questions: what you love, what you're good at, what the world needs and willing to pay for. It is the intersection of these 4 points. And I have developed an easy way to look at it is, for example, your passionate idea is internal to you. Whatever idea from entrepreneurship perspective you're conceiving is internal to you. Your customers for whom you're developing this idea are external to you. So you love it, you are good at it, and the world needs and they are willing to pay for are the customers. So think from that perspective, you will be able to come out with your Ikigai. So as I promised you, it's a small tribute to Steve Jobs. Let me try to recreate his Ikigai. So who was Steve? Steve was a pioneer in technology, but everyone knows him like that. But this is just a half a story. Basically, he was a lover of fine craftsmanship. You can see a lot of handmade Japanese teacups, flower vases, all across his home. Now let's imagine Steve as a person with a fine lover of craftsmanship and arts and try to create his Ikigai. So if I would have asked Steve, what do you love? He'll say, okay, I love arts. I love paintings, drawings. I'm a lover of fine craftsmanship, but it has to be a different level of artwork. Okay, you love these. So Steve, what you're good at? Oh, by the way, I'm good in technology. I'm good in innovation. I can start thinking from scratch. And what the world needs, the world that point in time needed smart, connected, beautiful devices. I think everyone could remember those bulky phones we used to have earlier, bulky systems. So the world needed a smart, connected, and beautiful device, and they were ready to also pay for it. Now, see all these things, four things together. These four questions, see these four things together. Now try to marry these things together. What you love, what you're good at, and look at these from an external perspective. So what actually it led to? It led to the Steve creating Apple devices, which were like medium of an expression, his ideas, and the world was looking for it and they were willing to pay for it. Okay. Any questions still now over here? Thank you. Now, demo number 2. Ikigai, a person who loves nature, plants, trees, environment. Okay. He's good in business analytics, artificial intelligence, and ML.
Okay.
Sorry. Anyone is saying something. Is there any question? Okay. So let us explore that guy's Ikigai. So if I ask him, what do you love? He'll say plants, trees, and you're good at data analytics, AI, ML. And what is that which the world needs? The world needs organic, pure, fresh, chemical-free food, and they are also willing to pay for. So if you club all these things together, that guy can be an aggregator of a farmer, produces. So there are a lot of farmers that can be aggregated under this and develop a model for sowing, harvesting, and crop selection based on historic monsoon patterns and forecasts. So this is one of the example whereby Ikigai can be used to marry all these four things together. Okay. So whenever we start to develop our Ikigai, these are the challenges which we face. Many people are not able to marry what they love and what they're good at. Usko bifurcate nahi kar pate. A lot of people have seen that. They think both the things are same. These are not same. They fall victim to isolated thinking like job, family, passion. These are different. Desires and everything. This is different. So everything is interrelated. That's the crux of Ikigai. Okay. So that's was about Ikigai. Anyone is having any doubt, any question, can ask me right away over here. Something on Ikigai if you want to check with me on this. Shall I move? Okay, cool. So Ikigai will help you explore your passion, explore what exactly you want to do to solve the problem for the world. It will help you to identify your niche. So this is the first step towards developing a $1 billion idea. Okay. Then there are various tools which will help you refine those ideas to make your idea a real powerful one. So once you have a strong idea, then the next step is to develop a practical solution from that idea. Customers do not need your product. No one needs product. Everyone needs a solution from their problem. Okay. Someone has a problem and they need a solution. They don't want to be sold a product. Customers will always look for a solution and not a product from that idea. So once you have a strong, powerful idea, the next step is how you can build conviction behind your idea. Building conviction is more important than building idea itself. So it's a very famous quote by Brian Stevenson. He says, you don't change the world with the ideas in your mind, by the conviction in your heart. So when we break this conviction down, it means three things to me. First is problem solution fit. Whatever idea you have generated should be able to eliminate a pain or create a gain for a customer, right? So the customer should see it as a solution to a problem. And there are certain techniques to it, but the crux is you need to first check there is a solution which an idea is generating, as simple as that. Second is you need to test your idea and test it fast. If you are failing, fail fast and adjust fast. To me, entrepreneurship is like, it's not about perfectionism. It's about doing something, you get it wrong, no problem. just go back and rework your solution, go back to the design board, rework your solution and go to the market again. So it's like iterative process rather than being a perfectionist. And the third is MVP, minimum viable product. Everybody has a plan until they get punched in the face. It's like MVP means creating a small version of a product, a minimum product, which you will give to your first set of customers to take their feedback in. So this is a cycle of building conviction. If you get across the cycle, you will have a lot of conviction to go to the market and give a solution. Okay. This is the most important thing, value proposition. Why a customer will buy from me. You have developed a product which is giving a solution to a customer. Now, over here, innovation plays a major role. Innovation is imperative. How? I'll tell you. Value proposition, just answer why should a customer buy from you and not from someone else? What is that extra value that you're giving to customer? Okay. So the value proposition can be of three types. First is functional. You can write this down. Functional means you have created something and it is pure functional in nature and you're competing with your competition and your customer is finding you as a cheaper option. That's why you're able to sell that. Your value proposition is the price. That means it's a functional. Okay. Second is social. Social means you have created something and your customer feels like he is socially up by using your product. He feels like he's showing off your product to gain some social advantage. It's like showing off. So you have created some show off product. Third is emotional. Emotional is something which you have created something and your customer buys just to satisfy his or her own hunger. For example, Byju's. Byju's is an emotional product. No one buys it to show off. Everyone buys so that they are able to use it for their own kids and their kids can perform better in the school and in the colleges and get some better ranks to get a better college. Okay, so that's more of an emotional. Emotional preposition is always something which you should target. You will not be able to make anything out of functional or social. You can make something out of social, but emotional is something which you should aspire for. And to get to the emotional level, you need to bring in a lot of innovation in either in your product or in your process. Okay? Once you have an emotional preposition given to the customer, you will be able to create a pull in the system and your customers will pull the products off the shelf. But important is how to create this innovation. So innovation can either be in the product itself or in the process. I'll give an example of Domino's. What is the value proposition to the customer by Domino's? This is my question to you. I think MBA students would know it. Why Domino's sell like hell? What is the value proposition of Domino's to its customer? Very quick. Okay, I'll tell. Domino's says 30 minutes or free, right? So the customer says, okay, I'll order something. He has or she has a surety, like within 30 minutes, it would be here. So there is some level of confidence, surety, certainty. So that's the process innovation that they have done. Okay. And a product innovation can be something like Royal Enfield. They don't advertise like it's a bike. They say it's something like related to your emotions, driving pleasure, experience, what people do after driving Enfield. So they hit on that aspect of the customer, which is emotional, which creates a pull in the system. After you have value proposition, so there's one more thing left. Actually, I'll give you one more example of emotional value proposition. There's a company, GoPlow, in which I'm a co-founder. We are able to crack a technology, a testing technology, whereby we are able to differentiate between organic and chemical food. So that is something, if I show this to customer will say, wow, now I can see the difference. Why would someone buy a chemical laced food and if the option of organic is available? So that creates pull in the system. So we do 5 level of testing, and we're in the stage of taking it to the next level. And the whole point is this testing mechanism creates a bridge of trust between the organization and the customer, and the product gets pulled off the shelf. So emotional value proposition is something which you should leverage if you are going in for entrepreneurship. Okay, good. Next is differentiation. Value proposition is for the customers. Differentiation is how different you are with respect to competitors. So I've created an acronym, Thunder Club. So it's various types of differentiation for various markets that you can create depending upon the target customers. So this is the example of Domino's that I just shared, how they are different. So differentiation is a key aspect. Now, important is next is how the startup will operate and make profit. That is through business modeling. So you can use business model canvas for that to create a business model. It's a 9-point system. It will help you create a go-to-market strategy. In 9 points, basically, it is divided into 3 buckets. First is your front end, the sales end, the customers, your channels, your relationships. Second is your value, what value you are giving. And the third basket is how you're creating those values at the back end. So it's all the business modeling. Then the next is how you create a winning team. Do you hire, do you outsource, do you explore for co-founders? So you take decision on that. And the last and the most important is the funding. So whenever someone talks about entrepreneurship, instead of idea, they will start with, oh, how the funding will be there. See, funding is something, if your idea is great and you have a good value proposition, differentiation, the other boxes are ticked, funding will happen if you present the first 6 things in a rightful manner to the investors. How do you reach out to investors? How do you create an investor deck? Comes under funding. Got it? Actions we take and why. Okay. So over here, I would like to take a pause and give you guys something to think on. Like, we all are players. It's a game going on, and we all are either can be players or can be spectators of our lives. Players, something is like we take certain decisions, stand for it. If our team is going back, we fight till the end. We don't say, okay, we have lost a match, I'll not play again. No, we stand and take the things head on, right? And so what are spectators doing? They cheer up the team. They are not part of the game. They cheer up the team, okay? And they don't have any say in win or lose, okay? So you need to decide, you want to be a spectator of your life. You want, like, you're working something and someone else is taking some shots, taking decisions, and you're not control of it, or you want to take the entire control of it. So that's what is the spirit of entrepreneurship. Okay, so that makes you a player of your own life. So that was about it from my side. If you have any doubts, any questions to be asked, it's 12:59. I think 1 minute we have saved. Any questions to be asked, please? Welcome. Looking forward to your questions.
Just may I?
Yeah, please, sir.
So you have focused on all about. If any student, please ask first. Okay, I think okay. Very nice and informative talk. You have covered many aspects of being an entrepreneur. So I would like to ask you something different, like how you plan for the budget part if you already have an idea and how to get the money for your startup? How
See,
will you use people?
sure.
Yeah, something like that.
I
You can highlight on that part also.
and sorry.
If you can highlight on that part also.
Sure, sure. So there is no money involved in thinking for an idea, right? That's all the solution mindset. You need to start thinking about it. This is the first part. Second, yes, you may need certain amount of funds when you need to get your idea tested in the market. So that's the conviction part. So that is needed to build conviction. Either your idea is a very basic or $1 billion idea, you need some level of conviction. And to go to the market and test your idea, it used to cost a lot of funds earlier. But with digital marketing thing, that has become damn cheap. It's very, very economical to test your idea over the social media, various social media platforms, where you can target specific, very specific audience and take their inputs as well. So I would say until you go for a mass scale production, the funds needed are minuscule, and you can manage it by your own, by your families and friends. Yes, there would be funds needed when you present your idea, like you have done prototyping and you are at a pre-revenue stage. That's when you can pitch your idea to angel investors. Now, angel investors will put on certain amount of funds based on your investor deck, based on the confidence, based on various other aspects of the business model. Once they invest in certain things, then you can start off your revenue stage. And once you are in the revenue stage and you are able to show off a great future, then you can go with proper investor deck to the regular investors. So for me, from idea till the angel investment stage, it's like it's more dependent on the power of your idea.
Sir, I have one question. You
Yeah.
mentioned about the angel investment. So
Yeah.
let's say we have a good, we believe that our idea is good, it's economically viable, and it's something quite innovative.
Mhm.
And how do we specifically approach the angel investors and all that, the roadmap to angel investor?
Okay. So I'll tell you, whenever you approach, even you can find to give you direct answer, you can find the angel investor email IDs straight away over the internet. There would be more than 40 or 50 angel investors you can find in any of the good investment websites. You can also see which category of business they invest in. So these sort of research you can do over the web. But the critical point over here is, why would an angel investor invest in your idea? Just because you have a conviction? There are thousands and thousands of students, or even lakhs of students, and everyone has an idea, and everyone will say, my idea is very good. No one will say, I don't have a conviction. You need to show how you have a conviction on the paper. What is the data? Have you done some research, or it is purely secondary research? So is it something you have been on the ground, you have connected with the end target consumers? So what is the outcome coming out from it? So small MVP, minimum viable product. If you have that before going to an angel investor, then your case will be very strong.
Also, how much we should tell the angel investor about our business? Let's say if we open up our everything, then he might get into that. We might also need to have a precaution regarding that too, sir.
Very good question. If you have a business idea like that, if you open up and it will go on and no one will anyone can go for it, the first thing you should do is, if that idea is of that level, you think, then you should go with patent, right? Second thing, even if just think like, even if you have all the money, you don't need angel investor, and you have put in some proportion of that, you started the business, there are big sharks lying in the ocean. They will see, oh, this is a new idea which has come in, let us put more money and make a business better. So they will also take away the idea if you don't have a patent. So it's not about sharing something with angel investors. It's about if your idea is that strong and you have that conviction, then go for a patent thing. And if you think it's not patent worthy, but it's a very good idea to be in, then create an MVP of that and go to the market, prove it. And when you go to the angel investors, you can always say, I'm at a pre-revenue stage, and because you have already covered some ground, anyone can copy your idea, but no one can copy your experience of living with that idea. Everyone knows, yeah, how to sell on Amazon. Everyone knows, but there are only a handful of people who are successful. Did you get my point?
Yes, sir.
Naveen has asked one question in the chat window.
Yeah, I was just looking at it. Yeah. How to check for the future economical scope or value of any futuristic idea we are having? Super question, Naveen. I'll try to answer this with an example if you allow me to do so. In 2008, I created an e-learning platform which was futuristic from that era, 2008. And it was like I developed a platform to learn Lean Six Sigma for students. And I did a lot of demo in the colleges. Everyone liked it. But it was, the channel was e-learning, internet, and it didn't take off. And the only one reason was the cost of internet was very high during those days. And I think everyone could recall, Dr. Anurag, you also, and Naveen, yeah, if you could recall, the cost of internet was, I believe, 200 or 300 rupees for 100 MB. And that was the only reason my idea didn't take off. And if I look at that from Naveen's question perspective, yes, you can check the scope of the future. You can estimate the scope of the futuristic idea, but always be wary of the conditions which are there right now may not be there in the future. Things get changed very quickly. It's a VUCA world, and things change very quickly. And do not think of something like 10 years from now this will happen. Just think of what is the problem I'm solving now. Because if you think something more than 5 years or something like that, the things go off. There are dependencies. There are a lot of dependencies on certain ecosystems, and these change very quickly, and these are very uncertain things. Yeah, any
Sir?
other questions? Yeah, Dwarkesh.
I'm asking, should we proceed to wind up?
Yeah, please. I'm okay with that. So it was great interacting with you all, and good questions, good session. I loved part of this session, and thank you very much. Thank you very much, Dr. Anurag and Dwarkesh, Dr. Sapna. Thank you very much.
Thanks, sir, for sharing your valuable insights with us. Entire session was full of energy and it was truly contagious. Your words have surely motivated and inspired the audience to believe in themselves and will certainly help them to proceed in the right direction to achieve success. It was indeed a very informative and motivational talk. Big thanks to all our participants for attending this interaction with us. We hope you all have enjoyed it and learned something beneficial out of it. This event owes its success to the active participation and enthusiasm shown by our wonderful audience. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for joining us. And
Thank you, sir.
I thanks once again on behalf of JC Bose University Science and Technology. From the IISc point of view, we all thank you once again for joining us in a short notice. And your overall presentation was really good. And I feel that today is Saturday. That's why some students are in even in classes, especially from MBA point of view. So that's why they could not connect probably. But definitely we would like to have interactions with you physically in a meanwhile time. and hopefully we will listen more and some more ideas so the students can get motivated. Thank you, sir. Thank you once again.
Sure. Thank you. Thanks a lot. My pleasure. Thanks.